Welcome to the fastest stuff in town. Today we must this Yevamot stuff Kuf Tes Zayin. We're going to begin on Kuf Tes Zayin Amud Aleph, about 4 lines from the top. Hahu Gita. So there was a get Dishdachach Batsura, and it was found in this particular location. Uksiv Bei Hachi. It was written like this: Basura Masa, in Surah the city, Ana Anan Barchia Neharda. I Anan Barchia Pataris Vitarechis Ploinus Inciti. So the question is this referring to the same man? Or is there a possibility we should be chayish of 2 such people in the same city? So on this, the Gemara says, Ubadku Rabban Masura. They looked all the way from Surah ad Narda. Anan Barchia, there was no other person with that name, Achrina. Lavar, except Mi Anan Barchia, Mi Chagra. Dehavi min Narda, that he had moved to Narda. Yasa Sahadi, witnesses came, Va'amru, and they said, Hu Yomi, on that day, Ki Ichtav al Gita, when that get was written, Anan Barchia, Mi Chagra, Gabon Havoy. He was actually with us. So therefore the question is, maybe it wasn't the same person. So Rabbi Afwadidi, Diamina, even according to me that I normally believe, Chashinan Hacha. Diamrina Chashinan, that typically I say Chayish, that maybe it's another person, Hachali Chashinan. I'm not concerned in this case. Ka'amri Sahadim Diminar Dahavoy. Because you have witnesses that mention that he was in Arda. So my ba basura, and what does it mean when it says that he went to surah? So it wasn't him that went to surah. Actually, the opposite. Even according to me, who are not chayish a second person, hacha chayshinan, dilma begabla parcha. Maybe this person went on a very fast animal. Says Rashi, hoyach maher ka'if parech. Maybe that's what happened. Begamo parchasal inami bikfitza, says Rashi, alidei shame. Maybe he said some special name of Hashem and he went quicker than normal. Inami mili mosar, that he instructed the sofer to write the get. Says Rashi, v'yafapi shul haya imahem. Even if he was not with them, shema midchilor aimer lehem beiro. Originally said in the city, Kisvu get leishti, Yacha cholchol edem l'sura. Then the witnesses went to another place. Kidemar l'hurav l'safri, v'chein omer l'hurav huna l'safri, ki isnechu b'shile kasuba b'shile. That when you're in Shile, write the word Shile. Afagav de mimsaran mile dehine. Even if, let's say, you were told in Hine, doesn't matter. You're supposed to write on the get your location. If you happen to be in Hini, then that's what you should write in the get. Even if, let's say, you were sent from a different location. So my have a lahu de shimshimi. What's the din of yesterday's daf with these sesame seeds? So Rabbi Yemer Amar Leichashin, Ravina Amar Chashinan, V'Hilchasa Chayshinan. So actually, halacha, we are chayish. That Shema Pinan, maybe he actually switched them to another jar. So the ones the sesames that are here, even though you lent them sesames, these are not necessarily yours. It's possible that there's someone that they're his. Katata ben Leveina. So he said if there was a katata between the man and the woman, so then she's not going to be believed. So Heichanami katata veina Leveina. So Rabbi Yehuda Shmuel by Meris Labala, if she says to her husband, Ger Sheni, divorce me, which clearly means that she doesn't want to be with him. So therefore, again, she's not interested in being with him. So she doesn't mind lying. Fine. So again, what we said regarding the sesames, halach is he doesn't have to give these sesames back since he may have cleaned them out, and not that these are the other guys, but they're the owners. So kulu nami yamru hachi. So maybe they all say this. So Ella boimeres labala girashtani. You divorced me already. It's not Right, katata, every katata, they're going to say, I want a divorce. Here it's, I was already divorced. So if that's the case, v'lehimna, she should be believed. Rav Hamnuna, dear Rav Hamnuna, isha shamu labala girashtani nemenes. If a woman says that I was divorced, we believe her. Because she wouldn't speak this way in front of her own husband. So it must be the fact that she said it, must be it's true. Her answer is, that she actually said, I was divorced in front of these people. So the fact the Gemara is shaline. Why don't and we so we asked them the Yomu lo hayu devar ma'oil, and they said hadam. They said it's not true. Now as we asked them, the Adam said it isn't true. So they aren't divorced, but now she's not believed as they thought, so that she hates him. So that's the whole point. They're not really divorced, but the fact that she made this whole story up, and the Adam said lahadam lo hayu devar ma'olim, it's not true. So it obviously shows her hatred toward him. So my time demikatata. So what is this whole reason of her lack of belief? Rab Chanina Omer Mishum demishakra. Again, because she'll lie, because she does not want to be with him. Or Rav Shimi Borashi Omer Mishum de Amr Bididami. Again, the problem is, if she doesn't like him, she's just going to assume that he's dead. She's right. Says Rashi, the hoyel the sanyule will daika kuli high. She's not going to be so particular in looking into this matter. Question 7. Madua ina isha nemenes lomer meis baili im yesh katata b'neihem. And the answer is either mishum nemeshakra, mrev sina, roitzel aser atzmulav. She just wants to aser herself to him, or mishum de amra b'bedami, as we said, because of this rationalization or making assumptions. So my binai, what's the difference between those two opinions as we continue on Daf Kuf Tes Zayin Amud Beis? Ikibinayu de argil hu katata, in a situation where he's the one that initiated the quarreling. Says Rashi, katata, that fine. Says Taisus, perish lomandir mishum de mishakra haisi ureya kolkach l'shakir. She'll be afraid to lie, because she really likes him. About rationalization, okay. So she may not lie, but she can still rationalize. Says Rashi, so there was this fighting between the man and the woman. They traveled to another country. One witness came, Mace. He's dead. Me, him, and Ilo. So my time, and why do we believe one witness? Something which is going to end up coming out in the open. She's not going to lie. So therefore, she should be able to get remarried. Even with one witness, she's still going to be particular to look into the matter to make sure definitively her husband's dead before she gets remarried. Since they don't like each other, so our Mishnah said that Rabbi Yehuda holds that she's not going to be believed unless she actually shows signs of avelus. She's crying, and her garments are rended. And on this, the Chachamim say either way she's going to be believed. So Tanya Amulul Rabbi Yehuda L'Devaracha, according to you, Rabbi Yehuda, that you don't believe her unless she's actually showing signs of avelus. So then Pikachas Tinasi Shaita, Pikachas Tinase, Shaita Tinase. A healthy woman you can marry, a shaita you cannot marry since she's never going to cry because she's a shaita. Either way, you can get married. There was a person who came to the base in the Rabbi Yehuda. So Amrullah, and he said to her, Sifti balech, mourn for your husband. Kiri manech, rend your garments. Sisri mazyech, and shear your hair. Al fuha shikra. So why would he tell her to do this? He's teaching her to lie. So inhu karabanan svirhu, that he actually hold it to Rabbanan. Amri Tavid Hachi Kihechi de lishra. But you should go and do this in order that you'll become mutter, even according to the Shita of Rabbi Yehuda. Question 8. Ma hitzruch Rabbi Yehuda l'isha shomeres meis bailish tehene menes ma amar l'chamim al kach. So this is what we saw. Rabbi Yehuda says she's not believed unless she's crying and she comes in with rended garments, so she's showing signs of avelus. Chamim say, well, the Baruch, according to that, pikachas tinasi shaita l'tinasa, that a shaita should not be able to get married. Next Mishnah. Beis Hillel Oimrim. So Beis Hillel says the following. Lo shamanu, I never heard, except for the following story. Ela b'ba min hakatzer, that someone who came from the wheat harvest, uva asa Medina, and in that same country, ukamasa shahaya, in exactly the same story as it was. As we're going to see later on, as Rashi says, "V'lo hetiru chachamim el dugmaso shehei hadavar karv lanu." It has to be similar to the story that we're going to see, where she will not lie. Okay. Amru lehem beis Shammai achas haba min hakatzer v'achas haba min hazeisim v'achas haba min habatzer. It doesn't make any difference whether they're harvesting wheat or some other crop, or for that matter, v'achas haba min Medina Medina, even if it was in a different country. So why do we say it this way? It only mentions because that's the way that it was. That's the Masa Shahaya. But it doesn't really matter in any location. Chazar Beis Hillel will hire Beis Shammai, and Beis Hillel agreed. Tanya. Armulhem Beis Shammai Beis Hillel. With the Vareichem, according to you, that it has to be this specific way, an example, as we're going to see, Ainli Elo Katsir Chitim. Then only in the case of if it's exactly the same, the Masa Shahoya of wheat. Katsir Sarim Barley Menayin, the Ainli Elo Katsir Baitzer Moitse Gaider Beoider Menayin. El Masa Shahoya Bekatsir Behoadin Lakul. It's in any situation. Hachinam Masa Shahoya Baisa Medina Behoadin Lakul. Doesn't have to be only in that Medina, anywhere. Beis Hillel Baisa Medina. So why do we believe her in that same country? Because there's a lot of people there, and therefore she's going to be afraid to lie. He's afraid that maybe if it's a different country, she's not going to be as truthful and she'll lie. There are caravans, and therefore, even if there's not a lot of people, there is enough traveling that she still wouldn't lie. Now, what is this whole story? So, my Masa Shahaya that we've been talking about. Yomi Yehuda Shmuel. Shilfei Katsir Chitim was at the end of the wheat season. Hayu v'holchu asar b'nei adam liktzer chitim. The 10 people that are coming to harvest their wheat. Nashku nachash l'echem. The snake bit one of them. Umeis. So one guy died. Vas ishto, his wife came. V'haidiel lebeistin. The shalchu matzu k'devareha. And it turned out exactly as she said. So ba'isa sha'amru, ha'isha sha'amru, meis ba'ili tinasa. If a woman says that my husband died, we allow her to get married. Meis ba'ili tisyavim. My husband died, we also allow her to do yibum. So name Rabbi Chanani ben Akavia b'Rabbanan b'Pota the Beis Shammai Beis Hillel k'mifagi, based on the Gemara Masechtas Chagiga. The Sanya li'isa adam mechatas ve'ver chatas. A person is not allowed to take the efer chatas of the concoction of the mechatas v'avirim b'yardain of sfina, and to travel over the Yarden on a boat. You can't stand on one side. And throw it to the other side. You can't swim. You can't ride on an animal. On your friend's shoulders. Unless you're actually touching the ground. You could travel over a bridge. Echad Yarden ve'echad Shari Naharos. Rabbi Chanani ben Akavia Omer lo Omer El Yarden Usfina Umasa Shahaya. Actually, it's only the whole issue is only exactly as it happened, traveling over the Yarden. Lema Rabbanan Diamrikim Beis Shammai Rabbi Chanani ben Akavia Diamrikim Beis Hillel. Just like Beis Hillel says, oh, we only believe her in this exact situation. So too the prohibition is only Masa Shahaya because, as we're going to see, that these things became Tameh. in that location. So maybe the Gzer is not in any other location. So Amrulach Rabbana Anan Diamrina Naftal Kebeis Hillel. Ad Kan Lokam Beis Hillel Hasam, that it was exact El Mishum de Mirtas. She'll be afraid to speak as a lie in that same country. But Makam Kara Mirtas, but Makam Rachak Lo Mirtas. So it's not just some arbitrary story. It's based on her potentially lying. So she's not going to lie, but Makam Karov. So Achamai Li Yardin Malu Haros. However, when it comes to the rivers, it doesn't make any difference. The Yarden and the other rivers should, therefore, the Gzer should still apply even the Shar Naharos. For that matter, Reb Chanan ben Akiva Omer, Armulach, another Merla of Beis Shammai. Ad kan lokam Beis Shammai hasam el misham dei daika mitzvah. A woman's going to be careful to before she gets remarried. So Mali Makam Kar, Mali Makam Rachik. Doesn't matter where. Hacha misham masa shahaya b'yarn v'svina dahavi. That because this is how exactly it happened. So they're only going to be geyser on a place where it actually happened. So my Master Shaya, what is that story? So they were traveling exactly in this location. And that there was a part of a mace that was stuck to the boat, which made these things tameh. And therefore they made this gezerah regarding here. The question is, does this also apply to other locations? And that's the whole question. Okay, we'll stop here. Question 8 we did. Okay. TA 9. Madua Kalwa. Okay, we didn't do that. Question TB 10. We may have done already. Katata ve'novena. Hechidami katata ve'novena. That, so we said, is a situation where she said, my husband divorced me, and it was with these Adim, and they say lahadam. And then mehem beis atam shisham amenes lo dama masisen de amar b'dam milchama. No, wait 1 second. Uma tam de eno nemenes lemer mace, either because of her rationalization or because she may say sheker ad kan.